In this natural world also, there are king and queens. How the names are given by human beings. So cotton is known as king of fibers, whereas silk is known as queen of fibers. So we have already taken the introduction part and the sericulture of silk in the last lecture. So we will repeat it a little bit fast so that you can remind all the things we have done in the last lecture. Silk is a natural protein filament spun by silkworm to produce cocoon, and density of silk is 1.34 grams per cubic centimeter. And we are getting this silk or the caterpillar but from a particular class or particular species that is known as Bombyx mori, and this cocoon is a cell which it constructs to protect itself during its growth from caterpillar to chrysalis to moth, that we have seen in the life cycle. So that will be clear when we will take the life cycle. Here we have taken in this, with the help of this slide or this diagram, we have tried to understand silk filament structure, that it is, there are two brins or which are made of protein which is known as fibroin, that is main silk filament part, and these two silk filaments are covered by a cementing material that is known as sericin, and this whole unit of two brins along with this sericin, that is cementing material, is known as BAVE. BAVE means a complete unit of silk filament that we have taken in the last lecture. The silk filament as obtained from the cocoon is called a BAVE, and the fibroin filaments in it are called brins. So brin means only the fibroin part, and BAVE means including this cementing material, two brins and the cementing material, the whole unit is known as BAVE. Here we have taken silk producing countries, major silk producing countries. Then we have taken the production of silk, and there are two steps. It consists of two steps. One is production of reeling cocoons, that is sericulture, and another is reeling of raw silk. So we have divided this production of silk into two stages. First one is, first we produce cocoons which can be reeled. That's why we are saying reeling cocoons. And then the process of reeling the raw silk from the cocoons is known as reeling or extraction of raw silk. So about sericulture already we have taken. It is done, or it is this production of reeling cocoons is done in an industry which is known as magnaneries, and the process is known as sericulture, in which we are culturing or we are taking care of this little creature which is producing cocoon, and during this its life cycle it is having four different interesting stages which are not connected with each other, and those stages are categorized into or divided into four parts. We start with egg stage, then caterpillar. Caterpillar is also known as larva or silkworm. So somewhere you will see silkworm, somewhere you will find caterpillar or larva. All are the same terms denoting one thing. Then caterpillar converts into, caterpillar produces cocoon and covers itself by this cocoon, and this cocoon is known as chrysalis or pupa. The covering over the silkworm, the covering over the caterpillar is known as cocoon or chrysalis or pupa. And if this caterpillar is not killed inside this cocoon, then it converts into, or it transforms into moth after some days, and then this moth emerges out from this cocoon, and this cocoon is broken down into thousands of pieces that we have covered in these slides. Silk moth lays eggs which emerges as teeny newly hatched silkworms and grow into adult through continuous feeding on mulberry leaves. This is feeded on a plant known as mulberry and eating the leaves of the mulberry tree. So it is also known as mulberry silk. it begins to spin its silk cocoon around itself and develop into the chrysalis. When it becomes adult, it it stops eating, and then it starts, or it begins spinning of this cocoon around itself and develop into the chrysalis or pupa, and then into the moth. If we are not killing this pupa, this silkworm at the stage of chrysalis or pupa, it gets transformed into moth. But to get a continuous silk filament, most of the time we kill this silkworm at the stage of chrysalis or pupa, so that it cannot convert into, it cannot transform into moth. And if moth is, it is not transforming into moth, then moth will not come out by breaking this silk filament. So we will get a continuous silk filament if we are killing at this stage. But to get good breeder moths for laying eggs, sometimes for some of the breeder moths, we are not killing the worm at chrysalis stage. And in that case, we are getting the breeder moths, which are again laying eggs. And in this way, again, we are repeating the life cycle continuously. Eggs, caterpillar, this chrysalis, and then into moth. So some are allowed to develop into moth, and most of the caterpillars are not allowed into moth stage. So this we have done in the last class. Chrysalis stage, pupa stage, then moth, and what is their life cycle, what is their life activities during different stages, that we have already seen. At the caterpillar stage, they are having different functions and growing into a big or adult. And then this chrysalis stage or pupa stage, which is inert stage, just like a dead thing, lifeless thing. And after 10 to 12 days, it changes into moth if we are allowing it. And the moth, it lives only 2 to 4 days, and the whole sole job of this moth is to reproduce about 300 to 500 eggs and then die. They are having particular functions or different functions and different lifestyles at different stages. So यहाँ तक हमने cover कर लिया था. Now we will start this new topic, formation of cocoon. How the cocoon is formed after it stops the eating and it grows into an adult. Then it searches for something to produce this cocoon. So how this cocoon is formed or produced, that is given here. The caterpillar, through its glands, secretes fluids. Caterpillar के अंदर जो glands होती हैं, वहां से ये fluid secrete करता है. These fluids, on contact with air, hardens, solidifies and forms a filament. ये जब fluid air के contact में आता है, तो ये solidify होता है, hard हो जाता है and form a filament. The caterpillar, this is very important to understand. This will give you the idea about the structure of silk filament. The caterpillar has two identical sets of glands on either side of the interior part of the body. इसके अंदर की तरफ दोनों तरफ identical sets of glands होते हैं. 2 gland left side में, 2 gland right side के अंदर होती हैं. And from each set, दोनों set में से एक, from each set, one gland secretes a fluid. एक दोनों में से एक ग्लैंड एक फ्लूइड सिक्रेट करती है, जो कि फिब्रोइन पार्ट होता है, जो कि मेन सिल्क फिलामेंट होता है. फिब्रोइन मींस द प्रोटीन व्हिच इज फाउंड इन दिस सिल्क फिलामेंट. सो वन सेट, from each set, one gland secretes a fluid which is then sheathed or covered in a fluid from the other. दोनों तरफ दो का सेट है, एक से फिब्रोइन निकल रहा है, एक से सेरिसिन निकल रहा है. So this fibroin is covered by this sericin from one gland, from one side, and in other side again there are 2 glands. One is secreting fibroin and one is secreting sericin. So this fibroin part is again covered or sheathed by this sericin, which together with a similar form of secretion from the other set pass through the extruding organ of the worm. और ये जो उसका extruding organ है, जो मुंह कहेंगे इसको worm का, उससे ये बाहर आ रहे हैं दोनों एक साथ. It means two fibroin filament which are known as brin here, which are indicated here. This is one silk filament, this is another silk filament. This is secreted by one gland at left side, this is secreted by another gland at the right side, and one gland at this side is also secreting this white part shown, that is known as sericin, and one gland at this side also secreting this sericin. So these two brins are covered or sheathed by this cementing material known as sericin, and this whole unit is known as bave, called as this. So I will repeat it again. The caterpillar through its glands secretes fluids. These fluids on contact with air hardens and forms a filament. The caterpillar has two identical sets of glands on either side of the interior part of the body, and from each set one gland secretes a fluid which is then sheathed or covered in a fluid from the other, which together with a similar form of secretion from the other set pass through the extruding organ of the worm called the spinneret. जो उसका extruding organ है उसको spinneret बोलते हैं. This term is mostly used in man-made fiber production. So here also it is given the organ is like spinneret, which we are using in man-made fiber production, and gates. और जब ये spinneret से या इसके organ से बाहर आता है तो air के contact में आने से it gets solidify in contact with air, resulting in the formation of a single compact filament. जो यहाँ पे हमने पूरा show किया, this one is a single compact filament. The single filament is obtained from the cocoon is called a bave. इसको हम bave बोलते हैं. And the single fibroin filament, जिसके अंदर दो filament दिखाए हुए हैं, they are known as brins. So this is complete structure of this silk filament. And how this cocoon is formed, that is given in this slide. So sometimes it may be a specific question on explain the formation of cocoon, then you have to, then your answer will be this. Clear? Now another topic. So far we have taken production of silk, production of cocoon, that is part, this which was part of sericulture. Now we are taking the second stage, production of raw silk, that is reeling. Reeling means extracting the silk filament from the cocoon. Extracting silk filament from cocoon. Formation of cocoon is part of sericulture. And now extraction of this silk filament from the cocoon is the part of extraction or reeling, that is known as reeling of silk. That is second stage of production of silk filament. So production of raw silk from its cocoon consists of following steps. जब हमें cocoon मिल गया है और हमने worm को अंदर kill कर दिया है, kill करना है हमें, तो उसके लिए हम क्या-क्या stages follow करेंगे, that is given here, and we are following 5 stages here. First one is known as drying or stiffling. Second one is known as shorting. Third one is known as cooking, and fourth is known as brushing, and fifth is reeling. So before reeling, you can say these are pre-reeling stages: drying or stiffling, then shorting, then cooking, and then brushing. These are pre-reeling stages. And the main stage is reeling, where we are reeling or we are unwinding the silk filament from cocoon. So we'll take one by one, try to understand all these 5 stages one by one. Drying or stiffling, object of this process is to kill the inside pupa, so that continuous filament can be reeled from the cocoons. As I mentioned earlier, if we have to reel or we have to unwind a continuous length of filament, which is hundreds of meters, then killing of this pupa is essential. And this process, drying or stiffling, is having the main object of killing this pupa, so that we can produce a continuous filament, or we can reel a continuous filament from the cocoon. The cocoons are stifled either by, there are two methods by which we can stifle it. One is direct method, like sun drying. So we place the cocoons in hot weather, just in front of sun, and due to its heating effect of this sunlight, this pupa with this pupa will kill inside this cocoon. Or indirect ones like steam or hot air drying can be also used. By spraying hot air or by using steam, spray of steam, we can also kill the pupa. So either this direct method of sun drying or indirect method of steam or hot air drying can be used for this purpose of drying or stifling to kill the pupa inside. The next is shorting or grading, which we have already taken in case of wool also. This is not a new term. This is done to obtain uniform and good quality yarn. Cocoons are shorted according to color, shape and sizes. अलग अलग कलर के अकॉर्डिंग या शेप के अकॉर्डिंग या साइजेस के अकॉर्डिंग हम cocoons को सेपरेट करते हैं, क्योंकि इसके अकॉर्डिंग डिफरेंट क्वालिटीज ऑफ cocoon सिल्क फिलामेंट हमें मिलता है. इसलिए हम अच्छी क्वालिटी को, मीडियम क्वालिटी को और लो क्वालिटी को अलग अलग करते हैं, शॉर्टिंग करते हैं. इसलिए हम इस प्रोसेस को बोल रहे हैं शॉर्टिंग और ग्रेडिंग. स्टेन्ड, डैमेज्ड एंड इरेगुलर cocoons आर रिजेक्टेड एंड यूज्ड इन द वेस्ट इंडस्ट्री. तो इस स्टेज पर हम क्या करेंगे, जो भी स्टेन्ड है, जिसके ऊपर कुछ निशान लगे हुए हैं या डैमेज्ड है कहीं से, या इरेगुलर इरेगुलर cocoon है, तो हम उसको रिजेक्ट करके अलग कर देंगे, उसको फेंकेंगे नहीं, वो वेस्ट इंडस्ट्री में काम आएगा. But this will not be used for good quality of silk. So this process is done after drying or stiffling, that is known as shorting or grading. After shorting or grading, we are going for the third step before rilling, that is known as cooking. The shorted cocoons are placed in 1% hot soap solution at 90 degrees Celsius in a container to soften the sericin gum and to enable the filament to be drawn out easily as one continuous thread. Because already I have mentioned about this, because we have this sericin covering over the fibroin filament. So this sericin gum has to be softened. And because if we are not softening it, then we cannot draw out, we cannot extract the continuous silk filament. That's why we are doing cooking, in which we are placing these cocoons in 1% hot soap solution at 90 degrees Celsius. So it will get softened so that we can easily unwind the material, unwind the silk filament from cocoon. After this, fourth stage is brushing. After cooking, the unreliable and rough mass of fiber called floss is removed with a brush until the free end of tip of the filament is found for unwinding. जैसा आपने अगर देखा, हम जब टेप चिपकाने के लिए यूज करते हैं, तो जब हम उसको हटाने के लिए, उसका टिप फाइंड आउट करने के लिए, उसका एंड फाइंड आउट करने के लिए थोड़ा नेल से या इससे हम उसको खुरच के अलग से वो एंड ढूंढने की कोशिश करते हैं. द सेम प्रोसेस इज डन हियर टू फाइंड आउट द टिप और एंड ऑफ द सिल्क फिलामेंट फ्रॉम दिस सॉफ्टन मास. एंड इसमें जो थोड़ा सा पार्ट जो निकल जाएगा सिल्क का, दैट इज नोन एज फ्लोज. एंड दिस फ्लोज इज यूज्ड इन द वेस्ट इंडस्ट्री. इस फ्लोज को भी हम फेंकेंगे नहीं, इसको वेस्ट इंडस्ट्री में यूज किया जाता है. आफ्टर ब्रशिंग, नाउ वी हैव दिस टिप, we have found the tip or end of the filament. So now we can do the rilling process. So next is the rilling process. The process of unwinding the filament from the cocoons is called rilling and is performed in a factory known as filature. जहां पर हम रीलिंग प्रोसेस करते हैं, जहां पर हम फॉर्मेशन ऑफ कुकून करते हैं, यानी कि जहां कुकून बन रहा है उसको हम सेरिकल्चर बोलते हैं. और जहां पर हम कुकून से सिल्क फिलामेंट एक्सट्रैक्ट कर रहे हैं, अनरील कर रहे हैं या अनवाइंड कर रहे हैं, उसको हम उस इंडस्ट्री को बोला जाता है फिलेचर. और इसको हम एक डायग्राम से समझ सकते हैं. यस, दिस डायग्राम इज गिविंग अ लिटिल बिट आइडिया about the process of rilling. So here you can see in this diagram, A is indicating hot water bath. This one is a hot water bath. here we have three stages of cocoons, B1, B2 and B3. B1 is cocoon being reeled. जो B1 है यहाँ पर जो हमने शो कर रखी है 4-5 कई number of cocoons we are taking together. Here we have shown only 5, but it may be more than 5. So here these are ready for reeling. These are cocoons जो कि रील होने के लिए तैयार हैं, हमने रीलिंग प्रोसेस में जिनको लेना है, that is indicated by B1. And B2 is ready to reel. जैसे यहाँ से अनरीलिंग हो जाएगा, इसका ये एम्प्टी होगी, इनको हम ये इसकी जगह पर हम इससे रिप्लेस कर देंगे. So this will remain ready to replace. B2 is showing the cocoons which are ready to replace, and here which are ready for reeling, B1, and B3 is spent cocoons जो यहाँ खत्म हो जाएगी. जब इससे सारा cocoon हम unwind कर लेंगे तो spent cocoon यहाँ पर शो की वो बिल्कुल बॉटम में आ जाएगा, which is indicated by B3. So B1, B2, B3 are cocoons but at different stages. This is ready for reeling. This is ready to replace when it will be spent, and this is spent cocoons. So here three stages of cocoons are shown. C is indicating a porcelain guide. This is a porcelain guide drilled with vertical hole. Then because this porcelain guide is just guiding them into the vertical direction so that it can move in a straight vertical direction towards this part known as indicated by D. And D is the most important part of this reeling process known as crossure. This crossure is indicated by again different stages, D1, D2 and D3. So all are here we are using as a guide rollers, D1, D2, D3, and this whole mechanism is known as crossure. And next part is E, which is a guide eye. Here again a guide eye is used to guide them horizontally onto this reel on which we are winding the silk filament. That is known as reel, which is an hexagonal shape. So from here D3 to guide the material towards this reel, which is indicated by F, we are using again a guide or a guide eye set on sliding rod. Here we are using a sliding rod which is eccentrically mounted on the drum. So when the drum is rotating, they are having an eccentric movement. Eccentric means we are getting to and fro movement. So this winding will be done onto the whole package. Widthwise, it will travel. This guide will travel to and fro, or you can say left and right, and will wind the material onto the whole shape, complete width of this reel, which is indicated here in an hexagonal shape. So silk is wound onto these reels. In this way, reeling process is done. So we can go to the theory also here. Cocoons after brushing are transferred to a basin containing water at 60 degrees centigrade. जो कि मैंने last diagram में आपको show किया. A trough is there or a basin is there in which we are having a water at 60 degrees centigrade. So cocoons after brushing are transferred to it, and when the cocoon softens, it floats. और ये ऊपर की तरफ float करेगी. The required number of filaments are brought together. जितने नंबर फिलामेंट हमें एक यार्न के अंदर लेने हैं, उतने नंबर ऑफ फिलामेंट्स हम साथ में लेकर के this will form a thread, and it will pass. We are passing them through a porcelain guide drilled with vertical hole, so they are guided vertically upward. If the silk filament are simply drawn together, the result would be ribbon or tape. अगर हम इसको सिंपल ऐसा ही सीधा ड्रॉ कर लें, एक्सट्रैक्ट करके और रील पर वाउंड कर लें, तो this silk filament will be in a ribbon shape, means it will be flaked in a tape shape, which is not required. So to obtain a cylindrical thread, it is necessary to have a device called crossure, and that is the function of crossure, to get a cylindrical thread instead of a ribbon or tape shape, which causes crossing of the thread several times, जो कि हमने diagram में show किया है, D1, D2, D3 like that. So it is crossing thread several times with itself to dissipate water, जो भी उसमें extra water है उसको बाहर कर देगा वापस, and to enhance cohesion of silk filament, और जो silk filament का है cohesion को improve करेगा. That is the purpose of this crossure. The silk filament then pass through a guide set on sliding rod having to and fro motion across the direction of the thread. जो डायरेक्शन है थ्रेड का उसके अक्रॉस ये इसको टू एंड फ्रो मूवमेंट देगा, स्लाइडिंग मूवमेंट देगा, स्लाइडिंग रोड के ऊपर ये गाइड को स्लाइडिंग मूवमेंट देगा, उससे जो रील है उस पर पूरा विड्थ वाइज सिल्क फिलामेंट वाइंड होगा. Then the filament are wound on the rotating 6-armed winding reeler in the form of skeins. और ये जो पैकेज बन रहा है, जो हम वाइंड करने के बाद वाइंडिंग रीलर पर जो वाइंड कर रहे हैं, उसके बाद जो पैकेज बन रहा है उसको हम बोलते हैं स्केन्स. जैसे आपने देखे होंगे कोन्स, चीजेस, सिमिलरली इट इज नोन एज स्केन्स. These are made up into bundles of about 6 pounds, और इनका बाद में हम स्केन्स को बंडल्स फॉर्म में कन्वर्ट कर लेते हैं, जो कि अराउंड 6 pounds वेट होता है, और उनको हम बोलते हैं बुक्स. So skeins are made up into or changes into bundles of 6 pounds, and these bundles are known as books, and the books are then packed into bales for shipment, or number of books are packed together into the shape of bale, which is ready for shipment. In this way we are doing this reeling process. Now we have only 1.5 minutes, so we will start this next topic of varieties of silk into the next class. Basically we have two varieties of silk. Basically one is domesticated, another is wild. Domesticated means जिसको हम कल्टीवेट कर रहे हैं, which is cultivated by men, हमारी देख रेख में, हमारी केयर में हम जिसको प्रोड्यूस करते हैं, that silk is known as domesticated silk. और जो अपने आप जंगल में अपने आप से जो कुकून बन रही हैं और उन कुकून से जो हम एक्सट्रैक्ट करते हैं, that is known as wild silk. So there are basically two varieties of silk, so domesticated and wild, that we will take into next class. स्क्रीनशॉट आई होप ले लिया होगा, और आप सब भी अपना एक बार अटेंडेंस लगा लें, because the class is going to end, and we will cover this topic, varieties of silk, into the next lecture. Thank you so much.